Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, if you're a die-hard Eagles supporter, you know that every season brings new challenges, new hopes, and sometimes shocking surprises. And this NFL season, there's a lot of buzz around the division, especially with some unexpected developments involving division rivals, particularly the Cleveland Browns. But today, we're going to focus on what this could mean for the Eagles, how their roster, their strategy, and their potential playoff run could be affected by the shifting tides in the league, especially considering some of the latest trade rumors and roster moves that might be on the horizon. First, let's set the stage. The Cleveland Browns, coming off a dismal 2024 campaign, are entering the 2025 season with what can only be described as a cloud of uncertainty hanging over them. Their recent struggles have been well documented, and if you look at their quarterback situation, it's frankly one of the most unsettled in the league. They have a mix of players like Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders all vying for the starting role. And honestly, that kind of quarterback carousel doesn't exactly scream stability or confidence. It's the kind of situation that makes fans and analysts alike question whether the Browns can even stay competitive in the short term, let alone make a serious push for the playoffs. Because of their struggles, it's widely expected that Cleveland might be out of the playoff picture before the trade deadline even hits. That's a crucial point because, historically, teams in their position often start looking to rebuild, to sell off some of their assets in exchange for draft picks and future prospects. And the Browns, being aware of their limitations right now, might look to do just that. They could begin offloading some of their more valuable players, guys like tight end David Njoku, who is in the final year of his contract and might be looking for a fresh start elsewhere. Now, here's where things get interesting for the Eagles. According to recent predictions from NFL analysts, including some insightful pieces from Touchdown Wire, there's a strong possibility that Cleveland might trade Njoku to Philadelphia before the trade deadline. Why Njoku? Well, for one, he's a talented tight end who could immediately upgrade the Eagles' passing game. Njoku's athleticism, size, and ability to make plays after the catch make him a perfect fit for Philly's offensive scheme. And let's be honest, the Eagles have been looking to bolster their tight end room, especially after the departure of some key players in recent seasons. Bringing Njoku into the fold wouldn't just be about upgrading the roster, it would be a strategic move that could give Philadelphia an edge in tight end versatility. Imagine having Njoku lined up alongside Dallas Goedert. That's a nightmare for opposing defenses. Njoku's ability to stretch the field, block effectively, and create mismatches in the red zone makes him a valuable addition. And since he's on a contract year, the Browns might see this as an opportunity to cash in and get some valuable draft capital in return, especially if they believe they're heading into a rebuild. But what does this mean for the Eagles? Well, it's a potential game changer. The Eagles, already one of the most balanced and explosive teams in the league, could see their offensive firepower increase significantly. Jalen Hurts would benefit from a reliable, athletic tight end who can make plays in tight coverage and help move the chains on third down. Plus, having Njoku on the roster would give head coach Nick Sirianni even more options to diversify the offense, especially in critical moments when the defense is stacked against them. Now, I want to pause here for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Looking at the bigger picture, this potential trade fits into the Eagles' broader strategy of maintaining a championship-caliber roster. Philly has been building through the draft, developing young talent, and adding key veterans when necessary. But the addition of a player like Njoku would be a smart move, someone who can contribute immediately and help push the team over the edge in close games. It also shows how the Eagles are remaining aggressive, even in a league where roster moves can be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. And speaking of the Eagles' current roster and season, it's worth noting how well they've performed so far. Jalen Hurts continues to be one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks, combining his physical talents with excellent game management. The receiving core, featuring Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, has been electric, stretching defenses and creating big plays. And the offensive line, as always, remains a strong point, giving Hurts the time he needs to operate. But adding a tight end like Njoku could be the final piece to unlock even more of their offensive potential, especially in the red zone where Njoku's size and athleticism can be game-changing. On the defensive side, the Eagles have shown resilience and playmaking ability, but they also face challenges. Opponents are starting to scheme more aggressively against them, knowing how potent their offense can be. That's why roster upgrades are so important. They help keep the team one step ahead. Adding Njoku would also give Philadelphia more flexibility in their offensive sets, allowing them to adapt to different defensive schemes and keep defenses guessing. And let's not forget the division context. The NFC East has been highly competitive over the past few seasons, with teams like the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants consistently fighting for supremacy. The Eagles, under Sirianni, have established themselves as the team to beat, especially with their balanced approach and strong coaching staff. But if Cleveland pulls off a trade for Njoku, and if that move proves to be successful, it could shift the narrative even further in Philadelphia's favor. Now, beyond Njoku, the Browns' overall future is murky. Their quarterback room remains uncertain, and their recent struggles have made them a team that could be very active in trade talks. They might look to move other veterans or draft picks to rebuild quickly, and that, in turn, could open up more opportunities for the Eagles to strengthen their roster, especially if other teams follow suit and become sellers at the deadline. Another interesting angle here involves the draft prospects and how the Eagles might use future picks. Philadelphia has been strategic in their drafts, focusing on building a sustainable, championship-winning roster. Acquiring Njoku could mean they are willing to part with some draft capital, but it's a calculated risk that could pay off big time. A tight end upgrade like Njoku's would make their offense even more unpredictable, forcing defenses to pick their poison. Looking ahead to the rest of the season, the Eagles are positioned well. They have a talented team, a smart coaching staff, and a fan base that's hungry for another Super Bowl appearance. But they also know that to keep their edge, they need to make smart moves, especially around the trade deadline. Adding a player like Njoku from Cleveland would be a statement move, signaling that Philadelphia is all in on another deep playoff run. And remember, the NFL is a league where injuries, unexpected performances, and mid-season trades can change everything in an instant. The Eagles have shown resilience and adaptability in recent years, and acquiring Njoku could be the kind of move that solidifies their position as serious contenders. It's about maximizing their talent, staying ahead of the curve, and ensuring that when the postseason arrives, they're as prepared as possible. So, what do you think? Do you believe the Eagles should pursue a trade for Njoku? Would he fit perfectly into their offensive scheme? Or are there other areas where you feel they should focus their resources? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. In the grand scheme of things, this potential move highlights how the Eagles continue to be a team that's not afraid to make bold decisions. They're always looking for ways to improve, to stay one step ahead of their rivals, and to keep their championship window open. With a roster that's already stacked with talent, adding a player like Njoku could be the icing on the cake, helping them push even further in their quest for Super Bowl glory. Remember, the NFL is constantly evolving, and every season brings new surprises. The Eagles have built a strong foundation, but staying at the top requires constant effort and strategic thinking. Whether it's through draft picks, free agent signings, or mid-season trades, they're always looking for that edge. And right now, the buzz around Cleveland's potential trade plans involving Njoku is a perfect example of how the league is always in motion, always changing. So, Eagles fans, keep your eyes peeled because the next few weeks could be pivotal. The trade deadline is approaching, and if the rumors are true, we might see one of the league's most talented tight ends donning midnight green very soon. That's exciting news, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into the latest NFL rumors and how they could impact the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember, your passion fuels this channel, so keep the comments coming, keep supporting, and as always, GOBIRDS.